everybody, welcome back to my channel, Fixing It Up with Sandra. In case you're new here, I'm Sandra, and I thought today I would actually do a video reintroducing myself. Over the past, I would say since November, since I really started, it's kind of when I took my hiatus. It's been very, very spotty over the last, I would say probably year and a half, 2 years. And the audience has grown on my channel. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I just wanted to kind of, like I said, reintroduce myself, tell you a little bit about the backstory of how this all became about, and just say hello so you know who I am. So this has been a wild journey. If you've been following me, you will see that I have started to do some more personal, that I had done some personal videos over, I think I started this channel in 2020, and they're just like sprinkled in here and there. But I really, I'm so dead set on this podcast style videos that this will probably technically be my first one. And so, like I said, I started this channel in 2020 on a complete whim. It was something that I did my very first video. Nobody can hear me in the video. I know this. I've put this in comments. I put that in the description box. Still, it is probably one of my top watched videos. It's a wreath video. And I did that. I did a couple more and then really didn't understand how YouTube worked, and slowly started getting emails where people were commenting, and like I said, I didn't understand what was happening. And so it took me a while to understand that I had followers, I had people liking my video, and that I also had subscribers. It was mind-blowing. I'm telling you, when it registered, I was just like, oh my goodness. And it has grown over the past 4 years. 4 years and what? Yeah, 4 years. I was thinking a couple months. But anyways, so that happened on a fluke. And then this was during the pandemic, and a lot was happening in my life. I had recently lost my job as a server, and I started selling candles off my porch and really dove into my maker capabilities. And I ended up working for a friend of mine who owned a vendor mall and became a vendor there. Started building my confidence up with selling products that I was actually making. This also led into me having more confidence and learning about filming and whatnot, and talking to the camera. So it just kind of and again, it developed so fast. I like to cannonball into any pool of anything that I do. I don't research. I don't do my homework on anything really. I cannonball in, and then I learn as I go. And that's why I always say that I'm the queen of, I can tell you what not to do. Because again, I don't do all that. I think too, because I don't do that because it can scare you. It's kind of like Googling your symptoms. You're just like, oh my God, And so I'm just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and go in. What's the worst that can happen? Have a backup plan. If it doesn't work, then you just carry on. But yeah, we ended up going from the vendor mall, me still doing YouTube, to farmers markets. And then on this completely wild whim, I was approached about opening a storefront, and I did that within 2 weeks. And so the offer to opening date was about 2 weeks, and I had no clue what I was doing then, and I still have 50-50 clue of what I'm doing now. And in between all of that, we opened the storefront in we opened the storefront in October of 2021. I found out that I had stage 3 cervical cancer that has spread to my lymph nodes. That following July, And of course, that threw a monkey wrench like you wouldn't believe into our plans. From October to January is when it was really rough because I was going through treatment. We did hardcore treatment for the month of October, and then spotty, like, just like little treatments after that. And I came back to work full time in January. And it has been just one heck of a journey. So all of 2023 was just me trying to like wrap my head around what had happened with my illness and just trying to go, okay, what's going on? We have a business. I'm hopefully going to be in remission with cancer. And during this time, I had reconnected with my daughter, and it turns out, I'm like trying to think of like the best way, that there were things that needed to be addressed in that relationship, and also like health-wise. I'm trying to like, I don't want to say too much, but anyways, my daughter, I reconnected with my daughter, and that was its own journey, which I will definitely talk about in a later video. And just so much was happening so fast. So like all of 2023, even though I was out of like hardcore treatment, I was still having a lot of doctor's appointments and whatnot. So 2023 still seems like a complete whim. And if you look back on my YouTube videos that I have posted, I'm like, yay, like, let's do this. And, I would get done filming and I'm just like, what was that? It was, 2023 was really like a hard year for me. And I wanted so bad to be able to just jump back into YouTube and go full force and do all these things. I had so many, and I still do have so many ideas of all these things that I want to share with you, because you guys are my community. I mean, you guys are my very first community, and some of y'all have followed me over onto Instagram, and we have built friendships, and all the support, especially in my darkest hours. Y'all have just really, really been there for me, and it's just like, I just can't say thank you enough. And so 2023 was a real struggle, and we were just trying to find our footing, because having a business is no joke. Like, we have to be here 5 days a week. I don't have any employees. It is just my boyfriend and I, Ricardo, and he is absolutely amazing. He has done so much, and that is a whole YouTube video in its own right. But so 2023, we were just, okay, like, we just opened this business. What do we do? And we had a lot of questions about a lot of things. And so when we finally got into 20, and then the holidays happening and all life, and then 2024 happened, and I was like, all right, I'm good. Like, my cancer is not, I don't want to say remission, but I'm going to say no. My friend likes NED, no evidence of disease. That's what he always says. And so we do not have, there's no cancer detected in my body whatsoever at this time. But I still have to be very careful. I still get tested quite often because it did spread to my lymph nodes. So I do have a 30% chance of it coming back. But I am very, very optimistic that it will not return. So 2024, we were like, okay, focus on the shop. We're spending money, rent, PG&E, insurance, products, everything. We are spending hard-earned money for this physical place. And there's so much more that goes to it. So we just put our chins down and just went hard at work. We built displays in here because displays are incredibly expensive. And again, thank God Ricardo is very handy in being able to we were able to build a lot of our displays, although wood is very expensive. So we were able to build our displays. We were able to kind of hone in on what we wanted to sell here, because before I was just like, it's a free for all, we're gonna do it all. And then I was just like, that's not how this works. And so, like I said, it is a lot of learning when you just cannonball into a pool of entrepreneurship. So 2024, like I said, we just got a lot of things dialed in, and I kept trying to make YouTube videos, and I kept trying to say, I'm back. And then the business would just pull me in a certain direction. You gotta stay on your toes when it comes to having a storefront. I'm gonna say, and this is being completely naive, unless you're 10 years in, and I say 10 years, the reason why that number comes to me is anybody who I ever follow or admire or anything like that or look up to, they always say it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. And once they hit the 10-year mark, that's when they got discovered. And I do still find it hard, even in a small town, for people to even know that I'm here. There's not a whole area to drive around and shop at. So, and I'm on Main Street. So, it's one of those struggles. But anyways, so we had to focus on what we needed to do to get seen, to get noticed. What do we need to hold events? Do I still do farmers markets? Do I do any of this stuff? And so 2024, I would say, was for me, technically our first year in business, because that's the first time that I was like, I think I got this. Not really, but I understand more what I need to do. I understand certain things. Now we have an outline of a plan. We're figuring things out, and again, trying to do YouTube in the middle of all of this. And so I would be like, I've got all the energy in the world, and I would just spit out all these YouTube videos and whatnot, and I'm like, I'm back. And then, like I said, my business is or family issues, health issues, no, you don't. No. And I always say, when you plan, the big man upstairs laughs, and that's how it's been for a while. So yes, we have juggled a lot. To me, there's life pre-pandemic, and then there's life post-pandemic. So whenever I reference anything, I'm like, was that pre or post? Because, if I thought life was crazy then, before 2020, it has been a tornado since 2020. But that is why I want to do my podcast style videos on here. So yes, I know that you guys love the wreath tutorials. I know. And I really do enjoy making wreaths. I actually have a wreath kit that I put together to make another one just right below me. As you can see, I'm here at the shop trying to film in between customers because I'm trying to I really, really want to stay consistent with YouTube. I miss you guys. I miss this. And so I know you guys love the wreath videos, but because so much has happened in the past, okay, so we're in 2025, I'm gonna say 4 years, I have so much to say that is beyond making a wreath or a Dollar Tree item. I want to get candid about mental health, because we have dealt with that in the hardest way possible. And, it's something near and dear to my heart. I just became a member of the advisory board for our mental health here in my city. And it is a real thing. And, there's such a stigma about certain mental health issues that I want to really, just kind of open up about it. And I have found a lot of podcasts, and what's even just crazier, I don't want to say that word while we're talking about mental health. What's just wild to me is that I've talked about this subject in more detail, and we'll get into more detail on YouTube eventually, but I talked about this just somewhat in depth on Instagram, and the amount of people who reached out to me privately to say that they were struggling in the same sense that I was, or that they have a loved one that was struggling, and like how it affected them. And I could not believe it, because I swear to you, when this is not ended, there is still mental health very much affecting me, my life, my family's life. And when it first started out, I truly believed I was alone. I really honestly believed I was alone, because I had not heard anybody talk about this. And so I'm like, I've got to say something. Like, is there somebody out there? And the minute I did, and then the response that I got privately, I was like, oh my goodness, we're all suffering in silence for the most part, until I actually said something about it. And I was having like mini breakdowns, because I honestly didn't know anybody that I could just vent to. So that is going to be something that we talk about on here. I do want to talk about the big C word, cancer, because my journey is not unique. You're going to scratch your head, and you're going to have a lot of questions on why it took me so long to get diagnosed. I believe I had cancer for years, and I say years, probably 2 years, before ever getting diagnosed, before going to the doctor, all that fun stuff. And I will explain why. I also had somebody in my life that lost a loved one, and this person did something similar to what I had done, not say anything, because I wish I had an answer. Like a definite answer, but it's a little bit of everything on why I didn't say anything for so long. And when I did, I kind of downplayed it. But like I said, I have someone in my life that they went through something similar, and unfortunately, that person of theirs didn't say anything till the last minute, and this person lost their life. And so I want to talk about cancer in a way that you can relate to, and also to tell you how this can change your life if you wait as long as I did. I had an amazing team. I have an amazing team of doctors who have saved my life. That's the only way I can say it, saved my life. And I can tell you about the treatments that I have had. It'll all be like based off of my journey. I have not Googled anything. That is the one thing that I think is my saving grace, is that I did not Google anything. I was terrified, and I knew if I had Googled anything, I would have gone off the deep end. My mental health is my number one priority. And so I knew that I needed to have a good headspace in order to get through what I needed to get through. So yeah, it's been quite a journey, and it's still a journey. There are still side effects that I have from treatment and whatnot. And so that is another thing that I want to just talk about. We just hear of like chemo, radiation, and then all of a sudden we're cured, and it's not so cut and dry. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about all the things in between. So I think I've rambled on and long enough to just reintroduce myself of who I am. But bottom line, I am a creator. I love to create things, and I will create Dollar Tree items. I will create wreaths, and we'll do all kinds of fun stuff. And I'm going to promise you that I do not know everything. I am going to promise you that we are going to make mistakes. I will leave them in the video for you to see, because I want people to know that you can make a oopsie. You can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And if it didn't turn out quite this way, we can tweak it and we can make it work. So anyways, that is me in a nutshell. So I hope that you guys found this video interesting, exciting, that you're looking forward to some of the things that I want to talk about. And of course, if you have your own story, like I said, community is everything. If you don't have community right where you are sitting, you can find it all over the internet, on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, any of that, TikTok, any of that stuff. Find your community, because I'm telling you, life is really hard. And when you can find somebody, I don't care if they're across the world from you, that you can connect with and just say, hey, like, do you know about any of this? And it really, really will help you in so many ways. And so, yeah, that's why I decided to just share this little brief of who I am, because like I said, I've seen so many new subscribers, and I just want to say hi and thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for being a part of my community, and thank you for trusting me to share information with you that you are going to love. So if anything, you know, thumbs up this video if this is content that you like, if you're excited, and share this. If you're like, oh, I think my friend would like this kind of account, I'm going to share this with her or him or whoever. Yeah, and then let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments. Can you relate to anything that I said? Are you a new entrepreneur that's about to open a storefront? Are you somebody who's dealing with mental health, or you know someone dealt with cancer, or you're just somebody like, hey, I've got a new topic for you. Have you ever? And then, yeah, I would just love to hear it all. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I look forward to talking to you guys in the comments, and stay well wherever you guys are. I'll see you guys again in my next video.